What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums,
ready, guys?
let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Save him! Oh, geez, stick to the plane!
Oh, Jesus. Let's go.
What do you think of when you think of gaming? Do you think of winning at a game? Do you think of just, I don't know, that one guy with a musty beard eating Cheetos wasting his life? The one thing that I have always thought of it is friendships. When we play these games, it's very much a escape to a different world, away from life itself. In all honesty, it's a way to just kind of zone out, to vibe, to hang out with your buddies regardless of where you are, and to just enjoy people that are like you. I myself have always loved gaming, always loved how I could make so many different friends and just kind of meet new people wherever. I remember during COVID too, it was a very, very big important role in my life in not having me go insane or crazy depressed, and I think that was something that happened for a lot of people too. The thing that I've always loved about gaming is kind of just what's playing in the background, to be honest. It's little moments like these where you're all united by one stupid game, but it's just those little moments of like just pure fun that kind of make these games really special and more than just a game. And it really puts an emphasis onto how powerful the need for community, for social gaming, and for just friends in general is in our everyday lives. So, you're probably wondering, why is this dude yapping about all this? Who the hell cares? If you're kind of like someone who's on the fence of games, you know, this is kind of important for you. So, the reason I'm even talking about this is I am in a class in my college that is really designed about research, and then using the research to kind of make a creation, kind of a work of art. And for my research, I wanted to choose something that I'm passionate about, which is obviously gaming. And I needed to figure out how to relate that to, a research topic. And I came up with the topic of how have multiplayer FPS games, or well, just shooter games, influenced and fostered communities that have lasted over time. So I needed to first establish what kind of makes a community, the psychological aspect. So that was kind of the first step in my research, and I found that it really boils down to people tend to kind of stick around those that are similar to themselves. So like, I hate people who like pineapple on pizza. You might hate people who like pineapple on pizza. We could be best friends. But if you like pineapple on pizza, we're probably not gonna be great friends. Anyways, so like I was saying, that's kind of what it boils down to. But how do you figure out how to match people who like the same things? So that brought me to my next part of the research, which was, how do games do this? And on this handy dandy little part of my presentation that I loved, it kind of just boils down to, there's a lot of different features, both in-game, out-of-game, anything that you can think of that kind of brings people that like the same thing or want to do the same thing together. That's what really is successful in building these communities and keeping them going. It encourages them. The main thing I found was in-game features like lobbies, parties, voice chat. Even though voice chat I have gotten called really bad at, really bad things. I'm gonna be honest. I have gotten called a noob and shitter by like a 12-year-old. Who is teaching these kids these words? Where is your parents? Why are you not doing your vocabulary homework, you little Anyways, even though there's a lot of weird stuff that happens, voice chat is one of them. You have friends lists, which make it convenient to keep track of people that are random that you don't know in real life. You have tournaments, which require people to team up in like 5 stacks or the required amount of players. So you're forced to pretty much just not play the game solo if you want to do stuff like that. And they also have casual modes, competitive modes. They vary the modes so that way you're constantly being matched with other people who maybe don't want to take the game seriously, who maybe do want to take the game seriously, or just genuine who are in the casual game mode being like, why are you not trying your best? Like, shut up. You know, I hate them. Like, Timmy, there's a reason you're pretty much in Copper 5 or Iron 3 on Valorant and Siege, okay? Get off the game. Get off. Like I said, it's all about bringing people who like the same things and have the same interests together. And you don't have to do that necessarily in the game itself. You can do it outside of the game through Discord, YouTube, social media, chat forums, I mean anything. There's even third-party apps for people who to find groups who like are wanting to play a game, or groups who want to do an activity in the game. I mean, it is truly amazing how far it's come. And even the social media aspect is something that I think is unique because of how these brands are trying to encourage people who like cosplaying, who like fan art, fan animation, fan fiction, who like all these different niche genres that, let's be real, a lot of us have kind of thought were weird at a time, but has kind of started to become more mainstream and given these people the confidence to come out of the woodwork and to pretty much just kind of make friends. Basically, it just boils down to you are trying to give everyone the opportunity to meet and make a friend. And that is how you keep the communities going. With that being said, is it effective? Does it actually work? You know, I chose games from my research project like Valorant.
Oh, holy fuck.
Siege.
Stop fucking shooting me! What the fuck is wrong with you? Chill!
It was a misinput. Calm down! You calm the fuck down!
Oh, bro.
There was a misinput!
Oh my fuck.
CS2.
We've never had a trumpet. Outstanding.
Fortnite. They have done such a good job in being effective in keeping their community happy and keeping them going. Another one that I think is Rivals, which is recent. It didn't even come from COVID. It came in like the past year and pretty much just said, hey, Overwatch, you don't like your community? Well, F you. I'm going to do it your game, but better and with superheroes. And you can just suck on my Iron Man. But I wanted to see how effective this was. So I found people that I think represent the average players and bigger players, people who love the game, veterans, noobs, stuff like that. And I did interviews with them. I asked them a series of questions. Right now I'm going to show you the voice recordings of them, and you'll kind of get a sense of if it's worth for someone who, let's say you're just getting into gaming and you don't know if you even want to come into this genre. You know, you don't know if you want to get bullied by some 12-year-old saying that he likes your mom.
Oh, Judy, well, you came and you baked me some cookies. Well, what we have is beautiful and you can't destroy it.
With that being said, I hope these interviews help anyone that's thinking about getting into gaming or just doesn't really know if it's going to be a fun thing to make friends on. I hope that these interviews explain that for you. So, without further ado, here we are.
I would say my most played games out of those would be least played at Overwatch, second most played at, let's say, Siege, and then most played at Fortnite, definitely. I think out of the 3 communities I mentioned, I feel like it would definitely be a lot easier to make it on Fortnite because there are a lot more ways to get into people's lobbies. There's tags that you can put on your account. It just feels a lot easier. Fortnite has definitely been a big part of my life. I've played it since it came out. It's really cool. I do love it. The communities I've been put into, I just made a lot of friends playing it, and it's really helpful in my life because I don't know, sometimes it's good to have a thing where you can de-stress on and feel happy, you know? It's just helpful in those ways.
Out of Valorant, Siege, Overwatch, CS2, Destiny 2, Fortnite, or Marvel Rivals, which is your top 3 and which is your top 3 of like most played and like a generalized order, like from ascending to
Fortnite,
descending?
Valorant, Rivals.
Over time, or is it like recent?
Over time.
Okay, what about for recent?
Valorant.
Would you
Fortnite.
say Valorant, Fortnite,
Valorant, Fortnite, Rivals.
and Rivals. Okay. So, out of those top 3, which do you feel has been easier to like make and find friends?
Valorant.
Valorant. Okay.
Let them
why?
try to get through me.
People talk more.
People talk more. So do you think that like games that
The
have
community is much more friendlier.
have you found communities and joined them in these games? If so, which
No.
one was like the easiest to find, and if not, why?
Valorant.
So
A lot of
Valorant.
people, because Valorant, like, they have like looking for groups type like group chats, and I feel like so many people use that.
So you think like if a game
Right.
is like easier to use with like LFG stuff, that it's like you can
We
find
can
more
push
people?
them back.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I feel like
Yeah.
Valorant's more team based, other than like Fortnite.
For games that you haven't found a community
Switching
like
sides.
easily on, would you
Match
want
point.
to be able to find one?
You want to
And
dance?
like,
Yeah,
how do you
sure.
think would be like a good way for that to happen?
I guess playing that more, or like joining servers for that.
Overall, what have these communities meant to you? And if they don't mean much, why or why not?
They don't really mean much. I only play with my friends.
Valorant, Siege, Overwatch, CS2, Destiny, Fortnite, and Marvel Rivals. What is the top 3 that you've played overall, and the top 3 that you're playing currently?
So, I'd probably have to say Siege is my number 1, because the game's been out for 10 years. Second would be Destiny as well, because it's also been out for 10 years. And then Fortnite as well, for being out for just longevity.
Okay. And do you prefer like multiplayer shooter games, or do you prefer like story mode games?
I like being able to play with friends, whether it be like a multiplayer like story game, multiplayer shooter. You know, it doesn't really have to be a multiplayer like a multiplayer just like shooter. It could just be a well-rounded story, if you know what I mean.
But you prefer to have the opportunity to like meet people and make friends. Is what I mean.
I like the opportunity of playing with friends. Yes.
Okay, so out of these top 3, the top 3 that you chose, which do you feel has been easier to make friends in?
Destiny 2.
My other question is why?
Why? Destiny 2 is just known like for being pretty easy. To get a group together and all that. I guess the best way to put it is the community's well built enough.
Do you think it's like the community of a game is more important than the features that a game has to make it like easier to meet new people?
I think a game can build itself up really easy to have a good community. I don't think necessarily like a good community can carry a game, if you understand what I mean.
So have you found like communities and joined them in these games, and if not, why, and would you want to? And then if you have, just a little bit about them and what made you find them.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, Destiny? Usually, like, if you find a group, you join their clan, you know? And, what is it, kind of, like, enthrall yourself in the community and all that, pretty much. I mean, it's fun. I mean, you get to play with people who also have the same, taste of game, you know? Same love for that game as well.
Overall, what have these communities meant to you?
I mean... they're fun, but I wouldn't like go out of my way you know, for the community. Like, you know, in the end, I mean, it's just playing a video game.
Do you think
It's
like
not-
the bigger communities are like, you know, like you have your close knit communities? Do you feel like those are more like tighter like bonds compared to those that are like huge big communities like on Discord and stuff like that?
I don't know necessarily. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I probably played Fortnite the most, then Siege, then Rivals. I feel like it was probably easier to make friends in Siege because people are just more engaged in the voice chat because it's more competitive than the other games. I joined a Siege Discord group a couple years ago, just to like find more players, and people were they were usually friendly, and it was yeah. I made a couple friends on there.
So my top 3 most played games in order would be Valorant, Overwatch, and then Fortnite. Out of the top 3, I feel that I have made friends easiest on Valorant, just because the game focuses on teamwork and strategy, which naturally brings people together, and you're kind of forced to communicate throughout the game. I've just found it easy to create bonds with people through communities that I've met through Valorant. Definitely found communities from these games. You know, through streaming on Twitch, I've met a lot of cool people, and that's turned into us playing games together, you know, chatting on Discord, and becoming, you know, real friends outside the game. Honestly, these communities do mean a lot to me. I don't really have anyone in my personal life that share the same interests as me, and through streaming I've met this little corner of the internet where everyone has similar interests. We all love gaming and we kind of all bond over the same things, and even if it's just over a game, I feel like I've definitely met some really cool people, and these communities have been super supportive through every walk of my life. I've definitely made meaningful connections and friendships through these games. You know, some people I've met in game are now either in my Twitch chat, my DMs, or, you know, in my Discord. We talk about things other than the game, and I feel like we are able to bond and support each other through difficult moments or celebrations. And it's honestly very cool how real the friendships can get when, you know, you're just trying to win a comp game and then somehow end up trauma bonding instead.
My big takeaway from all of this was that friendships on these games are real. The communities are real and the bonds are real and important, just as if it was in real life. I honestly am really glad I did this because I don't think it's really recognized enough. Yes, it is just a game, and granted, the communities don't mean everything to everyone, but the friendships, the relationships are still real. I mean, I don't think anyone would have thought that people would be making friends halfway across the world and eventually going to see them, or people would fall in love over the internet and it actually be real love. I don't think anyone really thought that that was like realistic. I feel like this whole project has kind of disproved that stigma of it's not real. Genuinely, I'm very happy that I did it because, I mean, all the memories that I know I have, all the memories that I know many other people have, it's the late nights where you're laughing with each other, you're having fun, or you're having those random deep conversations, or you're just talking about stupid stuff. It's just random stuff like that that you can connect with people who get it, who are just, you know, as goofy as you or as serious as you, and that's the beauty of it all, because none of us deserve to be alone. Everyone at the end of the day kind of just wants a friend and wants to feel some belonging, some connection to others. To the audience that I meant this for, if you really want to get into games, if you are on the edge, if you don't know where to begin, just play the game. I promise you it's gonna be the best decision you ever made, because it's the best one I ever made. You can meet everyone that you could imagine to meet, and it's gonna be fun, so go for it.
Of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Okay, alright. Okay, hang on. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time.
I didn't like you playing the game.
Tattoos and memories and skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while.
Shit.
I popped off with the floor again. I wiped their team. Oh no! God forbid!
Alright, open one. Open again.
No, don't do it again, bro.
This is a Tiger 2 fan.
This is a fan. Oh, well, we're fucked. Oh, wait a minute! Oh, wait a minute!
That's Iron Forest. That's Iron Forest. That's it.
Oh my god! Whoa! Whoa! Open 5! Open 5!
I don't know. It's like hard to do.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.